Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya. Offering our salutations to Ramana, who shines as the self in every being, we begin today's Saturday Satsang with prayer by Srimati Sapna Ganesh. This will be followed by the chanting of the Muktaka trayam.
शिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये आङ्गिकं भुवनं यस्य वाचिकं सर्ववाङ्मयम् आहार्यं चन्द्रतारात् तं नमः सात्विकं शिवम्
एकमक्षरं हृदि निरन्तरं भासते स्वयं लिख्यते कथं हृदयकुहरमध्ये केवलं ब्रह्ममात्रम् ह्यहमहमिति साक्षात् आत्मरूपेण भाति हृदि विषमनसा स्वं चिन्वता मज्जता वा पवनचलनरोधात् आत्मनिष्ठो भवत्वम् देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकमहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्ततपेतसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरदिय दृष्टात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं. Namo Ramana. We have the chanting of the few verses from Upadesa Saram by Kumari Uma Shripati and Srimati Ashwini Balaji.
कर्तुराज्ञया प्राप्यते फलं कर्म किं परं कर्म तज्जडं कृतिमहो दधौ पतनकारणं फलमशाश्वतं गतिनिरोधकम् ईश्वरार्पितं नेच्छया कृतं चित्तशोधकं मुक्तिसाधकं कायवाङ्मन कार्यमुत्तमम् पूजनं जपश्चिन्तनं क्रमात् जगत ईषधी युक्तसेवनम् अष्टमूर्तिभृद्देव पूजनम् उत्तमस्तवादुच्चमन्दत चित्तजं जप ध्यानमुत्तमम् आद्यधारया स्रोतसा समम् सरलचिन्तनं विरलतः परम् वेदभावनात् सोऽहमित्यसौ भावनाभिदा पावनीमत भावशून्य सद्भावसुस्थिति भावना बलात् भक्तिरुत्तमा हृत्स्थले मनः स्वस्थता क्रिया भक्तियोगबोधाश्च निश्चितम्. नमो रमण.
In this part of the satsang, we have the sharing of Ramananjali Sangeetam. Ramananjali Sangeetam is the repertoire which contains songs written by Bhagavan Sri Ramana Maharshi and on him by those who are soaked in the Ramana experience. Ramana, who is the self. So these words have risen from the silence of the heart. So these songs have the power to take us back to our own true nature, which is silence. Today, I present a song written by Sadhu Om Swami, where he says, where is the need for us to worry? Where is the need for us to even think? The only duty that we need to do is to abide in the silence, abide in the self, because everything is taken care. Because the supreme power who has created each one of us is more concerned about us than we ourselves are. If we understand this, then where is the need for any sadhana? This is jnana. If we truly understand that we are absolutely taken care and we need not have to worry at all, there is no need of any thought that has to raise from the silence. The only work that we need to do is to remain in the silence. If this is understood, this is jnana. And even if the whole world, the whole universe disappears, it vanishes in pralaya, still there is this power, the self, which is ever shining. So do not worry about these things. The world which is perishable, hold on to that which ever exists, and that which ever exists is our own true self, which is the divinity which is taking care of each one of us. ரமணன் அன்றோ உன்னை விட உன்மேல் கவலையுள்ள பெருமான். ரமணன் அன்றோ ரமணன் அன்றோ உன்னை விட உன்மேல் கவலையுள்ள பெருமான். ரமணன் அன்றோ முன்னரிதனை உணர்ந்து விட்டால் முடிததெல்லா சாதனையும். முன்னரிதனை உணர்ந்து விட்டால் முடிததெல்லா சாதனையும். ரமணன் அன்றோ உன்னை விட உன்மேல் கவலையுள்ள பெருமான். ரமணன் அன்றோ கனவிலிருந்து விழித்து கொண்டால் கனவு துயிரால் கவலை இல்லை. கனவிலிருந்து விழித்து கொண்டால் கனவு துயரால் கவலை இல்லை. நனவிலிருந்து விழித்து விட்டால் ஞானம் அது ஞானம், அது வேறேதும் இல்லை. நனவிலிருந்து விழித்து விட்டால் ஞானம் அது ஞானம், அது வேறேதும் இல்லை. ரமணன் அன்றோ உன்னை விட உன்மேல் கவலையுள்ள பெருமான். ரமணன் அன்றோ எல்லாம் அழிந்த பிரளயத்தில் இருப்பாய் மிஞ்சம் இயல் எதுவோ. எல்லாம் அழிந்த பிரளயத்தில் இருப்பாய் மிஞ்சம் இயல் எதுவோ. எல்லாம் வல்லவது நீயே நீயே, எல்லாம் வல்லவது நீயே நீயே. இதுவே ஞானம் இது நீயே, இதுவே ஞானம் இதுவே ஞானம், இது நீயே இதுவே ஞானம். ரமணன் அன்றோ ரமணன் அன்றோ உன்னை விட உன்மேல் கவலையுள்ள பெருமான். ரமணன் அன்றோ ரமணன் அன்றோ உன்னை விட உன்மேல் கவலையுள்ள பெருமான். ரமணன் அன்றோ. We have one more offering of Ramananjali Sangeetam by Savitri Krishnan and Jaisriram Krishnan.
Shri Shri Sarvadhari Samvatsara, Shri Shri Sarvadhari Samvatsara, Jeshtakya Masasthita Dvadashim Bhagavasaramo. Jeshtakya Masasthita Dvadashim Bhagavasaram. Taraka Vishaka Sahitam Mavu Lakshmi Gati Cherugat Dinamani Cheppu. Taraka Vishaka Sahitam Mavu Lakshmi Gati Cheru Dinamani Cheppu. Shri Shri Sarvadhari Samvatsara, Jeshtakya Masasthita Dvadashim Bhagavasaramo. Taraka Vishaka Sahitam Mavu Lakshmi Gati Cheru Dinamani Cheppu. Shri Shri Sarvadhari Shri Shri Sarvadhari. Brahmanandam Paramasukadam Kevalam Jnanamurtim Dvandvatitam Gagana Sadrisham Tattvamasyaadilakshyam. Ekam nityam vimalamachalam sarvadhi sakshibhutam bhavatitam trigunarahitam satgurum tam namami. Guru Ramana, Sadguru Ramana, Guru Ramana, Sadguru Ramana, Jagadguru Ramana, Vishwaguru Ramana, Jagadguru Ramana, Vishwaguru Ramana. Jaya Aruna, Chala Aruna, Shiva Aruna, Achala Ramana. Jaya Aruna, Achala Aruna, Shiva Aruna, अचल रमणा बोल गुरु रमणा सद्गुरु रमणा जगद्गुरु रमणा विश्वगुरु रमणा महर्षि रमणा भगवान रमणा कार्तिकेय रमणा सुब्रह्मण्य रमणा महर्षि रमणा भगवान रमणा कार्तिकेय रमणा सुब्रह्मण्य रमणा तपस्वी रमणा योगनिधि रमणा वेदांत रमणा वेंकटरमणा तपस्वी रमणा योगनिधि रमणा वेदांत रमणा वेंकटरमणा परतत्व रमणा परमात्म रमणा परंज्योति रमणा पर रमणा गुरु रमणा सद्गुरु रमणा जगद्गुरु रमणा विश्वगुरु रमणा नित्य रमणा निर्विकल्प रमणा निष्कलंक रमणा निर्विकार रमणा नित्य रमणा निर्विकल्प रमणा निष्कलंक रमणा निर्विकार रमणा गुरु रमणा सद्गुरु रमणा वेंकट रमणा सद्गुरु चरणा देव रमणा महादेव रमणा वेंकट रमणा सद्गुरु चरणा भाव रमणा महानुभाव रमणा वेंकट रमणा सद्गुरु चरणा ईश्वर रमणा जगदीश रमणा वेंकट रमणा सद्गुरु चरणा गुरु रमणा सद्गुरु रमणा वेंकट रमणा सद्गुरु चरणा जय रमणा विजय रमणा वेंकट रमणा सद्गुरु चरणा ओम रमणा श्री रमणा वेंकट रमणा सद्गुरु चरणा आत्म रमणा परमात्म रमणा वेंकट रमणा सद्गुरु चरणा गुरु रमणा सद्गुरु रमणा जगद्गुरु रमणा विश्वगुरु रमणा शिव रमणा केशव रमणा दास केशवनुत वेंकट रमणा शिव रमणा केशव रमणा दास केशवनुत वेंकट रमणा गुरु रमणा सद्गुरु रमणा जगद्गुरु रमणा विश्वगुरु रमणा गुरु रमणा सद्गुरु रमणा जगद्गुरु रमणा विश्वगुरु रमणा जगद्गुरु रमणा विश्वगुरु रमणा जगद्गुरु रमणा विश्वगुरु रमणा विश्वगुरु रमणा विश्वगुरु रमणा जगद्गुरु रमण भगवान की जय। ओम नमो भगवते श्री रमणाय।
Namo Ramana. We move on to the self-enquiry session by Shri Dileep Simha ji. Shri Dileep Simha ji will be reading from one of the question answers which has happened in the presence of Bhagwan Ramana and meditate on it, and we will practice self-enquiry for some time in this session.
Namo Ramana. ध्यायेत् शारदचन्द्रसुन्दरमुखम् ताम्रारविन्दे क्षणम् भक्ताभीष्टवराभयप्रदकरम् कौपीनमात्रोज्ज्वलम् स्वात्मानन्दरसानुभूतिविवशम् सर्वानवद्याङ्गकम् श्रीमन्तं श्रीरमणेश्वरं गुरुवरं योगासनाध्यासितं ध्यायेत् श्रीरमणेश्वरम् ध्यायेत् श्रीरमणेश्वरम् ध्यायेत् श्रीरमणेश्वरम् हृदयकुहरमध्ये केवलं ब्रह्ममात्रम् अहमिति साक्षातात्मरूपेण भाति हृदि विषमनसा स्वं चिन्वतामच्युतव पवनचलनरोधा आत्मनिष्ठो भवत्वम्. We will commence the evening Atma Vicharam by listening to Bhagavan's Upadesham and meditating on his Upadesham. And then we will have a 10 minutes Atma Vichara session. I'll be reading Bhagavan's Upadesham from the book Guru Vachaka Kovai, from the chapter Experience of the Truth. The topic is the nature of sadhana. Verse 919. Mauna Samadhi, the clarity of peace, devoid of the agitation of the mind, is the means for liberation. By focused effort, attain it, and by abiding as the peaceful being consciousness, that is heart clarity, destroy the illusory agitations of the mind. Here, Bhagavan is giving us the experience of the truth chapter what is the essence of the nature of the sadhana. What does the sadhana bring about? I'll repeat the verse again. Mauna Samadhi, the clarity of peace, devoid of the agitations of the mind, is the means for liberation. By focused effort, attain it, and by abiding as the peaceful being consciousness, that is heart clarity, destroy the illusory agitations of the mind. The heart is always the center of all the things, and that heart center is nothing but the being consciousness. That experience or direct experience of every one of us as I am, not through any thought, not by any other means, by direct experience that one exists, that being consciousness that one is the heart center of everything. Without that pure existence and pure consciousness, we can't say everything else exists or everything else I am aware. It is this pure being, this pure consciousness, which enables us to experience other, including the mind, the thought. But why are we attending to the mind and the thought? Only for happiness, only for peace. But when we understand that it is our natural state. The pure being, pure consciousness that we are, there is no thought, nowhere to go, nothing to achieve. When this becomes the understanding of our sadhana, then that mauna samadhi, that pure ananda that we are, that when we let go everything else, what that pure peace remains as pure existence and pure consciousness and pure peace that remains, that mauna samadhi is the clarity that is devoid of all the agitations of the mind. No more we will have doubts whether this is what is the truth, and then again go outward looking again and again for something, some other experience. We understand that all such outward turned effort is nothing but agitation, whereas the pure existence, the pure consciousness that we are, is naturally silent. It is in mauna, without even claiming, raising and claiming of its existence or of its awareness. It is though the substratum, it is the heart of every experience that we have, yet it doesn't claim. And that is our natural state. That is the way to liberation. When we focus our effort completely in remaining as we naturally are, abiding in that peaceful being consciousness, that is, having understood that is the heart of everything, then we destroy this illusory agitation of the mind. We figure out there is no point in attending to the thoughts appearing, innumerous thoughts appearing in the mind. That brings out the Mauna Samadhi. That brings out, as Ujwalji was saying, the dropping of all the external things, and that pure Samadhi alone comes about. There is none even to rise and claim that one is in Samadhi. One simply experience continuously the pure, peaceful being consciousness. With the immense grace of Bhagavan, which, which has brought this whole sadhana in a simplified way called as Atma Vichara. Whenever the mind rises, that is the vasanas, the desires and aversions that we have, when they rise in the form of thoughts, that is nothing but the agitation of the mind. And when our attention goes towards the thought, Bhagavan asks us to diligently inquire to whom is this thought. Thereupon, we recognize this thought is for me. And further, when we question, who am I? What do I refer to as I within me? Or where from this thought I rises within me? Then the attention which was going outward towards the agitation is turned inward towards the source of all thoughts, which is the heart center, which is that pure, peaceful being consciousness. And by repeatedly doing so, Bhagavan assures that the mind will gain enough strength to remain at the heart center, remain at that pure, peaceful being, existence, consciousness. And by repeated practice, this mind gains that strength. With the immense grace of Bhagavan, with which alone we have come to this most direct path. For the next 10 minutes, let us do Atma Vichara. Om Namo Bhagavate Shri Ramanaya. Namo Ramana.
Namo Ramana. In the Saturday Satsangs, we have been meditating on the verses from Ramanacentre. These 40 verses, Chatvarimshat, adoring the glory of Ramana, was written by Vasishta Ganapati Muni, and he had an idea of composing 100 songs, Ramana Shatakam. So with this intention, he had started the work, but it was unfinished. But Ramana is the one who has come to finish all the unfinished business, and to remind us that the happiness does not lie in either finishing a work or keeping it unfinished, because the happiness that is natural to us, which is our own true nature, is ever available. It is not dependent on any circumstances. It does not arise. It does not appear. It is not attained. It is ever available and ever it is there. So Ramana, who is the embodiment of that happiness of the self, he compiled the various verses written by Ganapati Muni, and he titled this work Ramanacentre, and these are chanted in the presence of the Ramaneshwara Mahalingam every day. And the verses that we are meditating describes the glorious glance of Ramana, which gives success for every work that we do, including the work of getting back to our own true self. Ramana, with his compassionate glance, is guiding us. Prasaratadita Shubhavilokitam Ramanate Sakrit Phalatu me Kritam Ramanajanminam Aibhavan Guru Abhidashaya Stava Mahanuru Jagadaham Para Spurati me trayam Sadabidam Gira Tava Visamshayam Tvadupadeshato Galati Samvida Mainiranyaya Sadahamorbida Ahamiyontara Stamamalam Hridi Anubhave Mabho Tava Kripayadi Na Karuna Guna Ramana Tava Vidampate Ramana Hridayate Jasa Ramana Sahaja Vaivate Ramana Na Karuna Guna Tava Vidampate Hridayate Jasa Sahaja Vaivate Harisu nannede ninna karune notava Ramanane sukrutavu phalavagalisali Ramanane guru sakala jivaku abeda anantavu ninna hridayavu jagajiva para muragi spurisade Ekatmavagide tava nudi nisamshaya Tvadupadeshadi jnana aralitu Nanagu satyaku iruva beda aliyitu Ahamina ಮೂಲದ ನಿರ್ಮಲ ಹೃದಯದ ಅನುಭವವಾಗುವುದು ನಿನ್ನ ದಯೆಯಿಂದ ಕರುಣೆ ಗುಣವಲ್ಲ ರಮಣ ನಿನಗೆ ಒಡೆಯನೇ ರಮಣ, ಹೃದಯದಿ ಹೊಳೆಯುವ ರಮಣ ಸಹಜ ಸ್ವರೂಪವೇ ರಮಣ. ಕರುಣೆ ಗುಣವಲ್ಲ ನಿನಗೆ ಒಡೆಯನೇ, ಹೃದಯದಿ ಹೊಳೆಯುವ ಸಹಜ ಸ್ವರೂಪವೇ. This special line, the 28th verse, has been chosen as the Pallavi for this set of songs. The Pallavi is the chorus which keeps repeating again and again. And what is that line which is repeating again and again? This line says, "O Ramana, Karuna, the compassion is not a quality for you. It is your true nature. You are compassion which has come in the human form." And there is no better example for Ramana being the compassion himself. And this very line has inspired a beautiful song which was presented in the teleserial Ramana Hole, which is written by Dr. Sharda, and she sings of the Karuna of Ramana. ಸಹನೆ ಶಾಂತಿ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಗುಣಗಳಲ್ಲ ರಮಣ, ರಮಣ ರಮಣ ರಮಣ. ಸಹನೆ ಶಾಂತಿ ಪ್ರೀತಿ ನಿನ್ನ ಗುಣಗಳಲ್ಲ ರಮಣ, ಸಹಜ ಸ್ವಭಾವ ರಮಣ, ಸಹಜ ಸ್ವಭಾವ ರಮಣ. ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಮರವು ಕಲಿತೆ ನೆರಳ ನೀಡಲು, ನೆರಳ ನೀಡಲು. ಶಾಲೆಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ಮರವು ಕಲಿತೆ ನೆರಳ ನೀಡಲು, ನೆರಳ ನೀಡಲು. ನೆರಳ ನೀಡುವುದು, ನೆರಳ ನೀಡುವುದು ಸಹಜ ಸ್ವಭಾವ ರಮಣ, ಸಹಜ ಸ್ವಭಾವ ರಮಣ. Muruganatha Swami, he mentions the same example of a tree. "O Ramana, you are the tree." What kind of a tree? The tree which is standing, and it is giving its shade to every comer, and it is spreading silence, and simply it is being as it is. It is not becoming something, it is not doing something, it is just being. And you are like the tree, you are ever available, ever being. And for those who are going around in this world of scorching heat, you give them cool shade, and you give this shade to every comer without any partiality. Your shade is available for the great man who comes in that way and wants to take some rest under you. And you are available for little creatures like the ants and the squirrels and the rodents and even snakes. And you are available for the birds, every kind of bird, to come and have a shelter in you. And you are available to even children who will come and play around you. And you are available to even those. Imagine a person has come with a saw in his hand and he wants to cut down the tree. But he has come from very, very far away place in the hot sun, and he thinks of taking some rest under the tree before cutting the very same tree which is giving him shade. So even in that case, the tree would not say, "This person has come to cut me. He is a cruel man. I should not give him shade." Will the tree ever think like that? Giving shade to every comer is its nature and not a quality. Similarly, for Ramana, Sahane is patience. Shanti is ever abiding in that peace of the self, and Preeti, which is the another name for compassion. The Preeti is love and compassion is Ramana's very nature, and it is not a quality. When we talk about Swabhava and Guna, the gunas are the various attributes that we have, and these attributes can change at any moment. We may be very, very happy person. We may not say that our quality of being happy is always there. Sometimes when the sorrow strikes, we are sad. Sometimes we are worried. Sometimes we are anxious. Sometimes we are afraid. Sometimes we wonder. Sometimes we are peaceful without any emotion. So all these qualities that we experience are ever changing. But the Swabhava that we are never changes. And Ramana says, our very nature, not only Ramana's very nature is love and compassion and peace, but everyone's true nature is that very same compassion, that very same love, that very same peace and tolerance and peace and patience. So Ramana's compassion, yesterday we celebrated Mother Lakshmi's Aradhana, the Mahalakshmi's, Cow Lakshmi's day. And the compassion that Ramana showed to Lakshmi is beautiful. He did not, just like a tree shows its love to every comer, Ramana's love was available to everyone. When we say everyone, it was not only every human being, but it was available to every creature. And Lakshmi is a standing example of the compassion of Ramana. Lakshmi, from the town, in a young age, she had come to see Bhagavan Ramana, and she had fallen in love with him. So, by herself as a little calf, she used to come from the town to Ramanashramam, to be with Ramana from morning till evening. And Ramana would wonder, oh, look at this Lakshmi. She has come by herself to the ashram. How wonderful. She is very, very smart being. And when Lakshmi used to love idlis, so every day Bhagwan used to give her idlis. When Lakshmi used to come, oh, Lakshmi has come. Can you please go and get some idlis for Lakshmi? And idlis used to be brought every time. And look at the compassion of Bhagwan Ramana. Once what happened was, the idlis which was made for the breakfast was over for the first round, the first pankti, first batch of the people of devotees. And for the second batch, the upma was made. The uppittu was made and was served for the second batch. And when Lakshmi came, the devotees told, oh Bhagwan, today there is no idli. The idlis are over. And for the second batch we have made upma. And Ramana, he had to take care of Lakshmi. He had to give her idlis. And idli alone could be eaten by Lakshmi. So Ramana remembered there is one devotee who does night shift. And that night shift devotee who, the breakfast for that devotee is kept in a box. So I am sure for that devotee the idlis would have been kept. So please go and get the idlis from that box and fill that box with the upma that has been made for the devotees of the next batches. So like this, Bhagavan took care of even the small details, small concerns of Lakshmi. And Bhagavan was not partial for that devotee, because that devotee could have had the upma very happily, but Lakshmi could only have idlis. So Bhagavan brought these idlis and was given to her. And Lakshmi, when she was pregnant with a calf, she said, Bhagavan, I cannot go to the town and come back every day. Please make a place for me to stay with you. And Ramana could understand this prayer of Lakshmi. And soon a Goshala was built for her. And when the Goshala was built, everybody had decorated Lakshmi and they wanted Lakshmi to enter the Goshala. But she was not budging. She was not entering the Goshala. And they all wondered, why is Lakshmi not entering the Goshala? The auspicious time that they have decided for the inauguration of the Goshala is getting late, and she is not entering. And then she ran to Bhagavan in the hall, and as if to say, Bhagavan, you have to enter my house first. Then alone it becomes auspicious and it becomes good for me to enter. I always remember in the Griha Pravesha that we do, it is always of the housewarming ceremony, a cow is brought into the house. When the cow is brought, the cow is considered that it has all the gods in it. It is called the Kamadhenu. She gives all the wishes. She fulfills all the wishes. So a cow is brought inside the house first, and then the Griha Pravesha, the others enter the house. So that is the Paddhati, that is the tradition that is followed in the Griha Pravesha. But here in the Goshala, Ramana is none other than the embodiment of all the gods. He says he is the self which is shining in every being, starting from Hari. So he was the embodiment of all gods, and Lakshmi wanted Bhagavan to enter first, and after Bhagavan entered the Goshala, Lakshmi also entered. And in this way, she was taken care. And once Lakshmi had to get her nose pierced, to put a rope around her nose. So her nose was pierced and she was in great pain. And in that great pain, she ran to Bhagwan's hall. And the devotees were scared. What happened? A cow is entering the hall. Every time that was the scene. And Lakshmi went close to Bhagwan Ramana to complain about her pain. And Ramana, with lot of love, said, "Oh Lakshmi, what happened? They have pierced your nose, is it? Well, it will get all right soon. Don't worry." And he patted her, and then her pain seemed to have been reduced a little bit, and she went back to her go-shed. But the devotees around told, "Oh, this Lakshmi has come into the hall with her muddy feet. And with that muddy feet, she has made the whole hall dirty. Bhagavan, this Lakshmi has made whole hall dirty." They started complaining to Bhagavan. And Bhagavan, with the same compassion, he told, "If you are in pain and you have to run towards your mother, will you remember to go and have a bath and change your clothes and then go to your mother? Is that the case? No. When you are in pain, whichever state you are, however you are, you just run to the mother for her love." So that's the same thing with Lakshmi. She considers me as her mother and father. So she comes running when she is in pain. So understand this. It is only her pain. And understand that his love is available to everyone who would run to him. And his love is available to each one of us. And the last moments of Lakshmi has been described very beautifully by Suri Nagama in her letters to Ramanashramam. And she says that was a Friday, Sarvadari Samvatsara, and it was the Bhargava Vasara. That is, it was the Friday. And at that point of time, when she was ill and she was lying down, because it was a Friday, every Friday Lakshmi was decorated with the turmeric and kumkum, and a beautiful mala was put around her neck, and puja was being performed every Friday. And it was that Friday when she was well decorated and she was sitting in the meditative mood, and the devotees around felt as if she is the Kamadhenu who is well decorated, and this Kamadhenu is ready to go to Kailasa. As if she is waiting to go to Kailasa, she was well decorated and in that meditative mood. And Ramana came to see her, and he kept his right hand on her heart and the left hand on her head, just like how he did to his mother Alagammal. Vishwanatha Swami in the Ashtottaram says, "Matru Mukti Vidhayakaya Namaha." This Nama can be taken as both for Mother Alagammal, he gave mukti, and it can also be considered as he gave mukti to Mother Lakshmi, Mother Cow Lakshmi. And he kept his hand, and the mind had merged in the heart. There was no other vasanas, there was no thought, there was no worries. She was abiding in the peace of the heart, of the self. And Ramana told, Amma, the devotees are waiting for me in the hall. Can I take leave? And when he told this, the tears of joy flowed from the eyes of Lakshmi. And Ramana also mentions that her right ear was up. And in Kashi it is told that the Shiva comes and he chants the Taraka mantra, the Rama Nama, in the right ear of all the people who are ready to drop their body. And he gives salvation through that. And she was having a right ear up, and she was listening to the chants, the Om Namo Bhagavate Sri Ramanaya chant, the Arunachala Shiva being chanted in her presence, and she dropped her body. And that is when devotees came and told Bhagavan, Lakshmi has passed away. Ramana corrected, and he told, Lakshmi has not passed away. She has been absorbed, and she has got mukti. And he wrote a verse describing that Lakshmi had got mukti. And the devotees asked, Bhagavan, is this liberation the real liberation that we all seek, or simply for poetic reason you have just mentioned that Lakshmi has got mukti? And Ramana told, no, this is that very same liberation that every seeker is desiring for, and Lakshmi has attained that liberation. And they wondered, how can an animal get liberated? It is told that the human birth is so sacred. Human birth is given to us to do the sadhana and get liberated. How can an animal get liberated? And Bhagavan reminded the devotees, have you not heard of the story of Gajendra Moksha? Have you not heard of that story of Uma Sabapati who gave liberation to a thorny bush? So, Lakshmi was a ripe soul, and she has been liberated. And this liberation in Ramana's presence for available for everyone. And he says this liberation need not to have to be attained after one has to drop the body. That liberation, that freedom is available every moment. And what one needs to do is to turn towards that freedom. We are holding on to these thoughts as if we are holding on to the pillar and telling, these pillar of thoughts are holding me. Please save me, Bhagavan. Please save me, Bhagavan. But Ramana is reminding us, you are holding on to these thoughts. Turn your attention away, loosen your hands, and turn within. Turn towards the self. That liberation which Lakshmi was blessed is available for every one of us. So come, let us all get back to that liberation which is our very true nature. And to bless us with this liberation, Ramana's Karuna is ever available, because this Karuna is not his quality, but it is his very nature. We will continue the satsang with the chanting of a few verses from Arunachala Aksharamanamalai. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. கோபமில் குணத்தோய் குறியாய் என்னை கொள குறையன் செய்தேன் அருணாச்சலா. கௌதமர் போற்றும் கருணை மாமலையே கடை கண்ணித்தாழ்வாய் அருணாச்சலா சகலமும் விழுங்கும் கதிரொளி நமன ஜலஜமலர் தீடருணாச்சலா ஷாபாடுன்னை ஷார்துணவாயான் சாந்தமாய் போவன் அருணாச்சலா சித்தம் குளிர கதிரஸ்தம் வைத்த முதவா எய்திரருள்மதி அருணாச்சலா ஷீரையழித்து நிர்வாணமா செய்தருள் ஷீரையழித்தருள் அருணாச்சலா சுகக்கடல் பொங்க சொல்லுணர்வடங்க சும்மா பொருந்திடங்கருணாச்சலா சூது செய்தென்னை சோதியாதினி உன் ஜோதி உரு காட்டருணாச்சலா செப்படி வித்தை கற்றிப்படி மயக்கு விட்டுருபடு வித்தை காட் அருணாச்சலா ஷேராயனின்மை நீராயுருகி கண்ணீராற்றழிவேன் அருணாச்சலா ஷையன தள்ளீர் ஷைவினை சுடுமலாய் உய்வகையே துரை அருணாச்சலா சொல்லாது சொல்லினி சொல்லரனில் என்று சும்மாயிருந்தாய் அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சல சிவ 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 அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சல சிவ அருணாச்சலா அருணாச்சலம் வாழி அன்பர்களும் வாழி அக்ஷரமணமாலை வாழி. Namo Ramana. We conclude today's satsang with the Ashtottara puja being performed in Sri Dileep Simhaji's altar. The chanting of the Ashtottara will be by Vaibhavji and Prarthana, followed by the chanting by Kumari Uma Shripati and Srimati Ashwini Balaji.
नमो रमण. भारद्वाज विश्वनाथ विरचितम् श्रीरमणाष्टोत्तर शतनामावलिः अपार सच्चित् सुखवारिराशे यस्योर्मिमात्रम् भुवनं समस्सन् गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि. ॐ महासेन महंसेन जाताय नमः. ॐ श्रीरमणाय नमः. ॐ गुरवे नमः. ॐ अखण्ड संविदाकाराय नमः. ॐ महौजसे नमः. ॐ कारणोद्भवाय नमः. ॐ जगद्धितावताराय नमः. ॐ श्रीभूमिनाथस्थलस्थिताय नमः. ॐ पराशरकुलोत्तंसाय नमः. ॐ सुन्दरार्यतपःफलाय नमः. ॐ कमनीयसुचारित्राय नमः. ॐ सहायाम्बा सहायवते नमः. ॐ शोणाचलमहोलीनमानसाय नमः. ॐ स्वर्णहस्तकाय नमः. ॐ श्रीमद्वादशान्तमहास्थले लब्धविद्योदयाय नमः. ॐ महाशक्तिनिपातेन प्रबुद्धाय नमः. ॐ परमार्थविदे नमः। ॐ तीव्राय नमः। ॐ पितृपदान्वेषिणे नमः। ॐ इन्दुमौलिना पितृमते नमः। ॐ पितुरादेशतशोणशैलं प्राप्ताय नमः। ॐ तपोमयाय नमः। ॐ उदासीनाय नमः। ॐ महायोगिने नमः। ॐ महोत्साहाय नमः। ॐ कुशाग्रदिये नमः। ॐ शान्तसङ्कल्पसंरम्भाय नमः। ॐ सुसन्दृशे नमः। ॐ सवित्रे नमः। ॐ स्थिराय नमः। ॐ तपक्षपितसर्वाङ्गाय नमः। ॐ फुल्लाम्बुजविलोचनाय नमः। ॐ चन्द्रिकासितहासश्रीमण्डिताननमण्डलाय नमः। ॐ चूतवाट्यां समासीनाय नमः। ॐ चूडिताखिलविभ्रमाय नमः। ॐ वेदवेदान्ततत्त्वज्ञाय नमः। ॐ चिन्मुद्रिणे नमः। ॐ त्रिगुणातिगाय नमः। ॐ विरूपाक्षगुहावासाय नमः। ॐ विराजतचलाकृतये नमः। ॐ उद्दीप्तनयनाय नमः। ॐ पूर्णाय नमः। ॐ रचिताचलताण्डवाय नमः। ॐ गम्भीराय नमः। ॐ परमाचार्याय नमः। ॐ सुप्रसन्नाय नमः। ॐ अभयप्रदाय नमः। ॐ दक्षिणस्य निभाय नमः। ॐ धीराय नमः। ॐ दक्षिणाभिमुखाय नमः। ॐ स्वराजे नमः। ॐ महर्षये नमः। ॐ भगवते नमः। ॐ ईड्याय नमः।
ॐ भूमविद्याविशारदाय नमः। ॐ विमलाय नमः। ॐ दीर्घदर्शिने नमः। ॐ आप्ताय नमः। ॐ ऋजुमार्गप्रदर्शकाय नमः। ॐ समदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्यदृशे नमः। ॐ सत्याय नमः। ॐ प्रशान्ताय नमः। ॐ अमितविक्रमाय नमः। ॐ सुकुमाराय नमः। ॐ सदानन्दाय नमः। ॐ मृदुभाषिणे नमः। ॐ दयार्णवाय नमः। ॐ श्री शोणाचलहृद्भूतस्कन्दाश्रमनिकेतनाय नमः। ॐ सद्दर्शनोपदेष्ट्रे नमः। ॐ सद्भक्तवृन्दपरिवृताय नमः। ॐ गणेशमुनिभृङ्गेन सेविताङ्घ्रिसरोरुहाय नमः। ॐ गीतोपदेशसारादिग्रन्थसञ्चिन्न संशयाय नमः। ॐ वर्णाश्रममतातीताय नमः। ॐ रसज्ञाय नमः। ॐ सौम्याय नमः। ॐ आत्मवते नमः। ॐ सर्वावनिमतस्थानाम् आराध्याय नमः। ॐ सर्वसद्गुणिने नमः। ॐ आत्मारामाय नमः। ॐ महाभागाय नमः। ॐ मातृमुक्तिविधायकाय नमः। ॐ विनताय नमः। ॐ विनुताय नमः। ॐ विप्राय नमः। ॐ मुनीन्द्राय नमः। ॐ पावकोज्ज्वलाय नमः। ॐ दर्शनादगसंहारिणे नमः। ॐ मौनेन स्वात्मबोधकाय नमः। ॐ हृच्चान्तिकरसान्निध्याय नमः। ॐ स्मरणात्मन्दमोचकाय नमः। ॐ अन्तस्तिमिरचण्डांशवे नमः। ॐ संसारार्णवतारकाय नमः। ॐ शोणाद्रीशस्तुतिद्रष्टे नमः। ॐ हार्दविद्याप्रकाशकाय नमः। ॐ अविच्युतनिजप्रज्ञाय नमः। ॐ नैसर्गिकमहातपसे नमः। ॐ कमण्डलुधराय नमः। ॐ शुभ्रकौपीनवसनाय नमः। ॐ गुहाय नमः। ॐ दण्डपाणये नमः। ॐ कृपापूर्णाय नमः। ॐ भवरोगविषग्वराय नमः। ॐ स्कन्दाय नमः। ॐ देवतमाय नमः। ॐ अमर्त्याय नमः। ॐ सेनान्ये नमः। ॐ पुरुषोत्तमाय नमः।
श्रीरमण भगवते नमः। रमणाष्टोत्तरशतनाम पूजां समर्पयामि। यस्थाणोररुणाचलस्य पदयोः स्मृत्या जनिं प्राप्यत दिव्यानुग्रहसुप्रवाहविवशस्तादात्म्यभावं गतः हृन्निष्ठस्वगभीरनित्यतपसा लोकान् पुनास्येकराट् तस्मै श्रीरमणाय ते नम इदं लोकोत्तरज्योतिषे। नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावरण नमो महर्षि नमो महर्षि नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावरण नमो महर्षि नमो महर्षि दर्शन सुख मंगल मुख सकल जीवहित सम्मुख ब्रह्म संगिये नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावरण नमो महर्षि नमो महर्षि सदा तुष्ट सदा हृष्ट सदा शिवानंद पुष्ट परम महर्षि ब्रह्मनिष्ठ समदर्शी नमो 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 रमण सदाशिव प्रभावरण नमो महर्षि नमो महर्षि ನಮ್ಮ ಮನವದೊಂದು ಕಾಡು ನೀನರಿತಿಹೆ ಅದರ ಜಾಡು ಹಿತವನರಿತು ನೀಡು ತೆಮ್ಮ ಕೊರೆಯ ತಣಿಸಲೈ ಬೇಡಲೆಂದು ಬಂದ ನಾವು ನೋಡಿಯೇ ತಣಿವೆವಯ್ಯ ಮೋಡಿಗಾರನೇ ಮೋಡಿಗಾರನೇ ಹಿತವ ನುಡಿದು ಪೊರೆ ನಮ್ಮನು ಬ್ರಹ್ಮ ಸಂಗಿಯೇ ನಮೋ 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 ರಮಣ ಸದಾಶಿವ ಪ್ರಭಾವರಣ ನಮೋ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ ನಮೋ ಮಹರ್ಷಿ बोलो भगवान श्री रमण महर्षि की जय।